So I want to say thanks to the assembled team here. As always, I'm mighty proud to get to work with what I consider to be the finest group of men and women in America when it comes to these events. And as all of you are aware, this has been a pretty busy storm season. We've already dealt with two significant storm events in Dolly and Edward. And, they did their share of damage along the Texas Gulf Coast. In both of those cases, our state's efforts working with the local officials and those first responders out there, they played a very key role in making sure that not a single life was lost in Texas with two significant events. Those efforts have accelerated our progress in those communities when it comes to rebuilding them. And Jack will share a little bit more with you about that in his remarks. But in a nutshell, our approach in Texas is to prepare for the worst and pray for the best. Rather than gamble with a storm that might follow the most favorable path, if you will, that predicted path, we prepare for a direct impact, and then we manage up from there. That's why we're getting rolling early. We're rolling early on our efforts, like activating our troops, pushing the fuel into the coastal areas, pre-positioning buses, and having those shelters ready to receive the evacuees, as well as standing up and staffing our 24-hour operations center. Right now, we're keeping a very close eye on this latest hurricane to enter the Gulf of Mexico and making preparations to deal with Gustav. And I mentioned Jack, the chief of our Division of Emergency Management, and Homeland Security Director Steve McCraw. We're really blessed in Texas to have these two individuals. Again, I think there are no two finer professionals in America to lead their respective divisions than these two. All of you have dealt with them before. You know the level of professionalism and expertise that we have standing by us here today. They've spent the last several years training and deploying our statewide team of first responders and state agencies, and community leaders, the Texas military forces, and the very many invaluable private sector resources that organize and coordinate with us. These private sector partners are an essential part of our efforts as we distribute the networks, the needs that are out there, the ice, the water, the food, and the fuel into those places where they're needed. And one of the things to keep in mind is what we're dealing with is this weekend, a Labor Day weekend. This makes this storm even more dangerous because we find ourselves in this holiday season. So for the last few days, our entire team has been implementing a proven operational plan, placing those key personnel on standby, moving resources towards the anticipated area of impact. Those resources include buses for potential evacuation, military personnel, aviation assets, medical personnel, our state search and rescue professionals. This week I issued a declaration of emergency for 61 Texas counties, and that's a step that allows us to move assets into place, get the necessary paperwork done for the speediest possible recovery and response. So now we're going to just continue to watch this storm, ramp up our efforts as need be, so that we'll be ready for whatever Mother Nature throws at us. I want to encourage Texans all across the state to really pay attention to what is going on, to be prepared, if you will, to fill up that tank of gas, to have the necessary prescription medicines packed away, ready to go. Have batteries in your radio so that you can keep up with what's going on and any instructions that come in case and the probability that you'll lose electrical power into those areas that are impacted. And I also want to encourage people to visit our updated website at governor.state.tx.us for information on the progress of the preparedness effort. I've also spoken with my friend and neighbor across the way, Bobby Jindal, and we've discussing the preparation, the obvious coordination between the two states, and the offer of assistance from his state to ours and vice versa. We've got a long-standing mutual relationship there, and we have agreed to take up to 10,000 residents from Louisiana into our shelters. That's already an agreed position. So working together, I'm very confident that Texas will be more than equal to the challenge that's headed our way. And again, I just want to caution Texans to be very observant, pay attention to what's going on both through the news outlets, through the websites that they can go to, and again refer them back to the governor's website to follow the preparation, the timeline that we're going to be working with.